Jose Romero has recovered. A perfect hip and shoulder there by Rasciuto. Dazed him for a while, and Adelaide went on and kicked a goal after it. From the middle, West again, just brought his own football today. The half forward, Hargraves nowhere near it. There's Rasciuto crashing through again. West. Top game by Scott West.
And the great part is, Drew, just in your call, you called that he's kicked it up to the half forward, and then he's within 2 seconds in your call again. He just keeps pushing up into the contest all the time, never stops.
West, 10 kicks and 5 handballs early in the second quarter. Here he is again. Might get 1 for 1 in the back. Nope. Umpire says, give it to me. I'll ball it up.
It's important for the Footscray structure to work, Terry, that Darcy and Hargraves and Ilya Grikic have to take marks.
They do, and they haven't been able to do that one just yet, have they? It's been really evened out. The Adelaide defence has matched up well with those three.
Ramiro with a quick kick inside 50. Darcy in front. Well, that's better for Footscray. It's a beautiful kick. He's going to set it up short, looking for Hargraves. Osborne, his hand pass didn't hit the target. So Footscray is starting to waste a few chances, but a free kick's being paid against Tasker for dropping the ball.
Yeah, Hargraves aggressive in on the tackle. He should have perhaps taken the handball when it came his way, but went to ground. His aggressive tackle there at Tasker, the ball just virtually just dropped out of Tasker's hands.
We call it dropping the ball, but it's been caught in possession. So we see Caven had it. So it's been paid to Hargraves. Came on the scene last year with a burst. Looked like he might be the answer to Footscray's key position problems, but he has struggled to reproduce that good form. So kicking from just inside 50. It's a beautiful long kick. He's drilled it. That's a big goal for Footscray.
Well, Hargraves is an important player in this lineup. Made his debut in the middle of the season in 1994. Really has been in and out since then, but former Eastern Rangers under-18 player really has to take hold of that centre-half forward position. Footscray have got the potential there. Luke Darcy in the forward pocket. Hargraves bridging in the forward line, allowing Grant the centre-half back, but he really has to stand up in that key position.
Margin back to 18 points, the same margin as at quarter time. Important goal for the Dogs into the breeze. Rowan Smith runs into trouble with Bickley. Liberatore a hand pass out. A dive by Rasciuto. Hargraves lifting. Smart wrestles the ball free. Brown is there with Wirra. Whistle's gone. Free kick to Brown. Grabbed when he didn't have it. Pops it out wide for Liptak. Nobody in front of him. He's approaching the 50. Draws a man into Greg Anderson on the right boot. Not a great kick off his non-preferred. It spills to Jarman. Andrew Jarman pulled off his kick. Great tackle by Grant, but it spills to Brown, and Brown kicks it behind.
Something about Andrew Jarman and the football just seems to follow him at times. Doesn't it? Just bounce back into his hand, but just too slow on that occasion to get foot to ball.
He's got great hands. It was a terrific tackle by Grant. So Wirra punched the ball back towards the half-back line. Wine was out there, punched the ball to the front of the pack, taken by Liptak. Anderson, short hand pass. Brad Johnson. It's a fine young player for Footscray. Smith needs a bounce and then just slaps the ball back over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, probably a good result there for Footscray. There wasn't too much support around Rowan Smith there, and Footscray being able to bottle it up a little bit now as Peter Quill returns to the ground to Callip, but Footscray being able to bottle it up in the Adelaide forward line at this stage.
Footscray by 17 points. Bickley, cross to Connell, just a floater inside the square. Osborne goes up and takes the mark. Kicked 3 goals in the first term. Footscray break wide, he's looking for Johnson. He's got Quill loose as well, but good marking by Ben Hart. But down from the back pocket is Wallace. Footscray defenders keen to run out of defence, trying to set it up. Quill just back on the ground, being bowled over by Bickley, over the top to Ramiro. Should centre the ball, front of the square. One for Big Griggett. Did he get pushed out? Doesn't matter because Darcy's marked it. And if the tall timber of Footscray can start taking marks, it'll be a big worry to the Crows.
Well, the Fremantle Dockers tried the same tactic against Adelaide with Burton and Daniel Bandy being the two in there. Now Footscray have some 3 of them to contend with.
So Darcy from 20 metres out, and he's kicked it. That's his first goal of the game. The Bulldogs 7.
Well, here we Osborne again being involved in the play, this time being prepared to step back into defence to give his teammates a chop out, and really it has been the key. Footscray forwards have made a difference. Osborne with his 3, Jason Watts with 2, Hargroves with 1, and now Darcy being involved in it as a result of a great centre from Romero.
Lots of marks in that passenger play, and they lead by 10, 28-18 in the air. Footscray off the ground. Johnson, who featured in the lead up. Well done by Brad Johnson. Out wide, short of half-forward flank. Quill was off the ground for a while. Looked as though he had stitches to the scalp. He's taken out behind the play on the Shepherd. The Crows have it over centre wing to Costa. Kicked by Costa to half-forward. Liptak has run his legs off. The Doctor gets the hand pass in to Nigel Smart up from defence. 50 metres out to the goal square. Modra sets himself, but Credial kicks it away from him and rushes it behind.
Yeah, good work from Credial there. He always had it covered. He had the flight of the ball well with his side of the contest, and Modra also had Scott Wine bearing down onto the contest.
It's a big contest too, because Modra's kicked 2 goals in that first quarter. Dimartina to Credial. Out in front was Hargraves, missed it. Oh, great hands, great vision by Jarman to Robin. Can kick the ball long, so it's one for the high flyers. Cave in the back of the pack. Up was Modra. Dimartina cleans up the Credial. Footscray have been good out of defence. They've kicked the ball short, trying to set up the loose man. Jarman punches the ball over the line. Footscray 7-3-45. They lead by 22 points. Adelaide 3-5-23. Just under 13 minutes. Wine wins the tap. Ramiro put his body in. We've got a ball up on the half-forward flank for Adelaide.
Well, Footscray haven't shown this just about all season. Their only victory was against Fitzroy. That was by 51. You'd have to devalue that a fraction, I suppose. Up to half-forward for the Crows. Oh, West. Well, this is how he won the best and fairest last year. Even though he's missed 3 games this year, he might do it again. That comes back to Scotty West, but he turns it over. Liptak. Short pass is just off target. Caven caught behind his man. Wirra run down, a good tackle by McLeod. It spills to Anderson. Pops it up in the air. Credial will be happy to see the white line out of play. And he's struggling there a bit, Steve Credial. Had trouble with hamstrings over the last couple of seasons. And that is a grimace of a man who looks as though he's barely getting one foot in front of the other in a jog. Thighs heavily bandaged. Dogs by 22 points midway through the second term. Crows in attack. Liptak again to Brown. Centering kick. Oh, courage by Grant. No mark though. And now a kick in danger, and Grant's counting his fingers.
Well, that's the second courageous thing that Grant has done in the last 30 seconds. Running back with a flight of the ball the first time. So not things that go down on the stat sheet, but certainly inspirational to his teammates as Wirra kicks the ball out towards the member's side. Hart traps it on 50. Kicks the ball long. Modra's there, 2 to beat. Pushed through by Dimartina. And a free kick is being paid to Tony Modra.
Yeah, Dimartina wasn't playing the ball then.
So Modra with 2 goals in the first quarter. He's kicked 26 goals for the year. His big year was in '93 when he booted 129 goals. Twice has kicked 13 goals in a league game. Once against Richmond, once against Carlton. And now with a check side kick. He's missed.
Have a look at Chris Grant here in replay. Courage, no mark, and then whang! 21 points the lead to the Bulldogs. Wirra towards the outer side. West again. What a game he's playing. Romero round the corner. Hargraves spoiled by Smart and the ball out of play.
Yeah, Robert Shaw can't get that match that he wants on Scotty West. Matthew Liptak started on him, but now they've made the swap with Matt Connell now with West and Liptak over to Romero, but West just continues on his happy way.
The two 15s, Pittman and Wine. Well, Pittman went straight to ground. Connell a hand pass to Rasciuto. Plenty of distance with the kick. Close to the boundary line. Oh, courage again by Danny Southern. He's either going to be cleaned up by somebody in the crowd or the fence.
Looked like he actually gave hip and shoulder to the side. Thought it was Wayne Carey in the head, knocking over the truck. Jarman. Liberatore makes a contest of it and a ball up.
This quarter's starting to get away from Adelaide. They've got the assistance of the breeze here, but they've only picked up just the one goal right at the first one of this quarter. Need now to get a little bit of a hurry on in the goal scoring.
Scotty Wine feeds it off to Quill. Gives it across to Johnson. Footscray keen to run, set up the loose player. There's another runner, Romero. Inside 50, can set it up to Watts. Great play, Footscray. Now he's kicked two. He's gone short. Hargraves is the target. Couldn't take it, couldn't hang on to the Sherrin. Kicked off the ground by Tyson Edwards. And Footscray have wasted a few opportunities when they could have had set shots.
Yep, either by taking the mark cleanly or by having someone at ground level underneath. And Big Illy Bridgick still hasn't had a kick or a mark, just the one handball against his name at this stage.
Footscray by 21 points. Romero, hands and knees, gets the ball out to Grickick. Here's his first kick, and he's kicked the goal! Sensational, Ilya! The old coach is coming for in the box.
Well, was that Ilya Grickick or Ilya Kuriakin? The man from Uncle stopped it.
Well, just the area we were identifying that Footscray needed to lift. The most unlikely player steps in. Man is some 6'9" high, and look at that sort of reaction. He's ready to go now. Didn't play Australian rules football until he's 17 years of age, the big fella.
Footscray outscoring Adelaide into the breeze in this second quarter, but Rasciuto takes a high tackle from Libbo, who jumped at him. And Rasciuto, who delivered the best hip and shoulder on Romero earlier this quarter you'll ever see. Out wide to centre wing. McCartney up from defence. Adelaide need a rush of goals. Ross is just rather Tasker. Well done, Quill. He's got a cut to the scalp and has come back on. Perfect disposal. Hargraves just kept it in. Grigich fresh from his first kick and a goal. The hand pass ineffective. Out of play on the 50 and we'll have a throw in. Well, it was an 18-point lead at quarter time, and now the margin is 27 points in favour of Footscray, so they're winning at both ends, with the breeze or into it.
Coming into this game, Bulldogs 1.5 wins, 14th on the league ladder. The Crows second on the table, 6-2. So this could be a big upset as Costa kicks the ball back. Wirra punches the ball away from Brown. West, it's just been fantastic. Got the free kick, he was held, and 50 metres. This will just about put West within scoring distance. Let's have a look at his stats. He's had 11 kicks, 2 marks, 7 handballs. He hasn't kicked a goal just yet.
And we've got nearly 9 minutes to half time.
And he'll be kicking from around about 45 metres.
So there's no doubt that Alan Joyce has been restricted in his armoury while Scott West and Leon Cameron have been out of the side. Lucy's now one back and in great touch.
So Scotty West, oh, it's a floater, a wobbly old kick. At ground level, Tyson Edwards overruns it. Big Elliott gets it to Darcy. He's a left footer, have to come back. Liberatore, quick snap. McCartney on the goal line. So the Crows now trying to create some run themselves out of defence. Ben Hart feeds it off. Liptak to Rasciuto. Just thumping the ball back. It's a high ball to Caven. Southern's done well since being moved on him in the first quarter. Pesh traps it. Screws the ball back. Oh, Quill. He was in great touch last week. He's had a terrific season. Formerly of East Fremantle. So he thumps the ball back where Hargraves is a target. Smart, the leading tackler for the Crows, gives it to Jarman. The ball comes back to Rashudo. To Liptak. Poor kick. Where it takes the mark. Smack bang in the centre of Western Oval.
And off the ball, Romero had a bit of a go at Rashudo. And he was sat on his pants again for the second time in the quarter. Darcy. Half-distance pass. Big climb at the back by Edwards, but no mark. What's a great hand pass to Grant. Grant on the forward line has kicked the goal. What a performance this is by Footscray. Played like rubbish most of the year and playing like world beaters at the moment.
Well, Grant is still playing at centre-half back on Robran. The teamwork there with Scott Wine was tremendous. The ruckman dropped back to cover Robran, allowing Grant to continue on into the play and continue on. He did. Got the half-forward, gathered the ball. The ex-forward knew exactly what to do and did it so very, very well.
And he's gone back to his position, that centre-half back on Robran. So he's come a long way for that goal.
There's a freedom in the way Footscray's playing today. They've got runners everywhere. Keen to run the ball out of defence all over the ground. Liptak. It's a hurried kick down towards centre-half forward. McLeod bundled over by Wallace. This is where Footscray have been tremendous today. They're tackling. And Wallace will get the free kick. They waste no time. Quill. He's been a big winner for Footscray. Kicks down to Osborne. Booted 3 in the first quarter. Ground level, the pace of Osborne. Was he held? Play on, says the umpire. Comes back to Darcy. Back to Quill. Kicks to space. Osborne just needs a kind bounce. Flips it over. Bang. Great tackle by Johnson. The Crows do well through Tasker. Across to Jarman. And out comes Grant. Couldn't hold it. But Liberatore. Ground level to Quill. That's his third possession in 15 seconds. Kicks the ball over the line on the full. And he's had
centering kick. Johnson camped underneath it. And a fantastic mark by the youngster. The local boy who's... Turn it up. Whoa. Turn it up. Umpire!
Oh, no. Yeah.
It's got to go to Johnson. Correct. Well, Bickley thought it was his. He tried daylight robbery.
Umpire Morford doing a good job from the broadcasting box. Gets it across the Grant. Couldn't take it. Watts on hands and knees. Tries to slap it out. Osborne's been a danger man. He's booted 3. Hart runs the ball over the line. So here's the mark that Drew Morford called from the broadcasting box.
Well, how did Bickley think it was his? Oh, fair dig.
Umpire Bill Dalla keen to sign up Drew Morford for next year. The Crows with just 2 on the interchange bench, and Connell and McLeod. They've lost Kim Costa, carried off on a stretcher in the second quarter. What appears to be a serious knee injury. Pesh tries to shrug it off. Once more gets the second handball away. Taken away by Bisker. Hugs the boundary line, and Dimatina with a one-hander. He's used the ball well today. Sets it up once more to Smith in the centre of the ground. Footscray has been keen to play on quickly. Kick the ball to space with plenty of numbers. Here's Darcy. Sets it up. No U-turn. Back to Southern. Good defensive play by Robran. Southern with just brute strength. Wins the ball out. Smart goes to ground. Tyson Edwards comes away. Goes short and finds Brown. Take a casual bounce. Modger's on the lead inside 50. Crediuk in front, read it magnificently. And takes the mark. And it looks like he's a bit sore there, I would say, Terry. He's had a lot of hamstring problems, but he's grimacing.
Well, it's a worry, that one, isn't it?
Kick by West to the centre of the ground. Oh, Smith bowled over. He didn't have the ball. It comes to Edwards. It picks out Pittman. Kick by Pittman to full forward. Modra with a run at them. Well, he had his back to it when it flipped off the pack. Crediuk tunnelled his way through to Grant. Across the ground. Johnson been prominent at the start of the third quarter. Is that a mark, umpire? Brad Johnson, left half back. Up to centre wing. Hargraves. Name written all over it. It wasn't a Sharon, it was a Hargraves.
So Daniel Hargraves starting to make his mark across half forward. It's a beautiful long kick down, looking for Darcy at ground level. Pounced on by Liptak. Oh, good play by Bisco. Gave it across to Robran. So the Crows can run it out of defence. Bickley across to Pesh. They can set it up. Smart's on the forward line. Long bomb. Out comes Credial. Tremendous mark once more in front of Modra.
He's just toweling it up. This is great play from the fullback, being in front at all times and totally aggressive at the ball.
And Dimittina takes a mark from a dangerous kick. Now he's off and running. Catch me if you can. He's on full pace. Gives the ball across to Wallace. It's 248th game for the Bulldogs. Started back in 1983. Back to Ramiro. Back to Wallace. The ex-skipper. Magnificent play. Finds Hargraves. He's 60 metres out, pops it up in front, and he finds Watts. Well, great football, started from Credial in that last line of defence.
Well, Robert Shaw has tossed around his big men. He's got Pittman in the forward pocket, which has caused Alan Joyce to bring Craig Ellis on. He's got Jonathan Ross running with Scott Wind in the ruck. But what he hasn't been able to stop is this run of the midfielders of Footscray.
Jason Watts booted 2 goals in the first quarter. Kicking to this end. It's a beautiful drop punt. He's kicked a great goal. It's a great kick for his 3rd goal, Terry.
3rd goal, and the leading goal kick now. That's 19 for the season, and something like 19-9. So he really takes the most of his opportunities. And the Footscray forward line now will get plenty of opportunities, because what they've got an extremely confident midfield on the run and a full-back who is leading the charge by being aggressive at the ball in front of Tony Modra and Stephen Credial. That's the first time they've got consecutive goals, so they really need to string a few together now.
Another ball up in the middle. Ramiro for the Bulldogs. Punched by Tasker. Hargraves had his head taken off. Half stumbled into it, but it was certainly there. And he's right in front, 45 metres out, with a slight breeze at his back.
This has been a good piece of work from Hargraves at centre forward. His marking's been strong. Picked up 4 goals last week, finding a niche, and now being the recipient of a free kick purely through aggression at the ball, being prepared to go in hard at us.
He did start slowly, and he's coming up for his 11th kick. He's taken 7 marks. This to return the margin to 28 points. He's done it. And Hargraves claiming to the umpire that he was interfered with after his kick and that maybe he wants another one.
Well, I suppose when you're hot, you're hot. You want to keep having shots, don't you? And Hargraves has that going with him just at the moment.
Showed enormous potential last year playing at centre-half forward.
Yeah, really he's just a real raw talent, Kevin, that needs a little bit of harnessing in, not to be quelled, but perhaps redirected.
He's kicked 2 goals, and certainly is a target up forward for Footscray. Bickley, it's been taken away by Ramiro. Bulldogs back into attack. Liberatore burrows in after the ball. Quill had a great game. Watts in front. Paddles the ball long in front of Visca. He gets support from Tasker. So Visca runs it out of defence with a long raking handball to Bickley, and he's off. 3 bounces. He's going to kick the ball long deep into 50. It's into Smart territory. The back of the pack's Jarman. Could be dangerous here for Footscray. Hooks it around to one-on-one duel, pushing and shoving. Modra's kicked it, but he's pushed in the back. In the back. So the free kick will go to Footscray.
Well, Stephen Credial certainly has done a job here on Tony Modra today. Modra's confidence is really down now, and the shove was there, the front position. Perhaps Credial's expression didn't equal the thoughts of the umpires. I think there's a little bit of conceding that the goal had gone there by Stephen Credial. He's done a fantastic job. He's been aggressive at the ball right throughout. A lot of limping in his game just in the moment. This is the first time for near on 2 years that he's played more than 3 games in a row, Stephen Credial, so he certainly shows wear and tear back there.
Credial kicks the ball out wide. It's a big pack of players. Pittman thumps the ball forward, kicked off the ground by Caven. Finds Jarman. His brother Darren and also Tony McGuinness didn't take their place in the Crows side. Credu once more traps the ball. Did well to keep it back into play. And Grant with a touch of class. Playing in defence, he's even come down and kicked a goal. Runs, draws an opponent. Ramiro needs quick hands back. Great play, Ramiro. Great running, Grant. Kicks the ball to space. The race is on. Robin gets there first. Gives it off to Hart. To McCartney. Footscray's tackling has been enormous today. Look at Hargraves. Twists his way out of the pack. Caught Osborne underneath the ball. And we've got a ball up. And Footscray have been great in the clinches. Let's go down to Neil Curley. He's got an update on Kim Costa.
Yes, unfortunately for young Kim and the Crows, it's a bad knee, and the doctor says it will require an operation.
Well, that is bad news. Clean possession, wind to Osborne. A high ball to centre half forward. Big climb by Edwards, and the punch away, and he put his opponent down and hurt him, Smith. Off the ground goes Anderson. West and Anderson, the two blondes. West goes back to Southern. Danny Southern a long way up from defence. Perfect football. And the mark's taken by Curley. Just on the ground for his first run in this third term. Into Liberatore. Little kick. Oh, he pops it very high. Ramiro! Oh, he covered the ground magnificently. And it's poleaxed again. But when he realises he'll be kicking for goal, I think you'll see him get up.
He's been fantastic, Jose Ramiro here. Just straight into it. You always know there's one coming, but you've got to take the ball, be committed to the ball. Then when that's in your possession, do what you can to avoid the contest. But he could do very little there and was quite prepared to wear it.
The margin is 28 points, so it's dead level in this third quarter. It had been 28 points at half-time. And we're at the 20-minute mark. The kick by Ramiro won't score. Hargraves is there. Off hands and through for a minor score. And let's have a look at Jose. And the ground he had to cover, it was a real hospital ball given to him by Libba. But did he cover the ground? And did well.
Said 22 possessions, Jose Ramiro, and up goes Luke Darcy. Looks to have an enormous future. His dad played for Footscray, recruited from South Adelaide. Back to Liberatore, pumps the ball back. Free kick given away, shepherding. It's going to Footscray. And Todd Curley or Brad Johnson will be taking it. I fancy it could be Curley. Played 3 games with Collingwood. He's played every game this year and he's booted 11 goals. So from directly in front, he should kick it. Curley's booted Footscray's 12th goal.
Curley coming onto the ground in replacement of Ilya Grigic just to get a little bit more mobility in that forward line. We couldn't see the actual interference there. Hart had front position and cleanly took the mark, but probably 2 or 3 players back in the pack, the interference occurred. The umpire in the side on position has pinged it against Sean Tasker.
Four and a quarter minutes remaining in the term, and it's taken the Bulldogs a long time to get their noses in front for the quarter. Liberatore out of the middle. Hand pass missed. Quill. Osborne wins the ball. And we'll have a ball up. There's Brad Johnson with the red, white and blue mouthguard. Footscray supporter all his life. Drafted by the Bulldogs. Very happy to have been done so. Here's a backhander by Wine. Romero tries one off the ground. Crowd one in the back against Nigel Smart on Grant, but another baller. I reckon if Adelaide can get one more before 3/4 time, they're in the frame. If they're 5 goals behind, coming home with the breeze.
Well, the Bulldogs lead by 35 points. Pittman to Hart. And boundary throw-in. Matthew Liptak on screen. Had a lot of work to do midfield. Darren Jarman and Tony McGuinness both didn't take their place in the side, being replaced by Visca and McLeod. And they've also lost Kim Costa with a knee injury, which Curls just told us will need surgery. Brad Weira on and off the ground a couple of times, kicks the ball long. Darcy in front has the ball punched away from him by Robert. And a boundary thrown.
Well, Robert Shaw has reined in a couple of Footscray midfielders. Greg Anderson's done a good job on Scott West on the wing in this quarter. Got kicks himself and kept West quiet, but Ramiro continues to be now the driving force in the middle for Footscray.
Visca with strength to lip tackle. Oh, great tackle by Osborne. Ramiro, who's had a great game again, to Quill. Thumps the ball long. Watts is a danger. Oh, wonderful mark by McCartney. Took a lot of courage. Gives it across to Robran, so they can raffle it out wide. Bingo, the lucky numbers 4, Tasker. Wobbles the kick back towards the edge of the centre square. And Wallace, who's been a good player today, has his kick marked by Risciuto. To Tyson Edwards. The Crows need a goal before three-quarter time. Under 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Smart. This could be the chance. He can run. A bounce. Runs inside 50. Kicks it right, looking for McLeod. And in chips Danny Southern.
Southern switches play to the other side. Wirra pops it to half-back flank to Wallace. 2 minutes remaining to the last change. Another goal would nearly kill Adelaide if it's for Footscray. West lost it in the tackle. Liptak spills it. Whistle's gone. Adelaide free kick. Bickley well inside 50 to Modra with Krediuk. It gets to the back. Haven't cleared it yet, Footscray. Krediuk on all fours. Andrew Jarman tried to take on the pack. It spills here to McLeod. A snap over his shoulder is offline and through for a behind.
So Adelaide just aren't able to finish their work off as they come through the 50-metre offensive zone into that last player in the full forward zone. Nigel Smart's kick before from this right forward pocket really was a nothing kick and was easily taken by Danny Southern. Perhaps a need to touch more air with Caven behind, perhaps being able to take a jump on top of the square.
So winds a target off his hands to Anderson. Here's a chance now for the Crows. Bickley can set it up. Modra's the target. Good play by Krediuk. Chance for Liptak. Just kicked it straight along the ground in a grubber. So Footscray break wide. Here's a chance for the spray. Johnson out in front. That's a lovely weighted kick. And Osborne's marked. Kicked 3 goals. All came in the first term.
Great performance on an All-Australian.
Goes to Liberatore. Inside the centre square to Dimatina. Sets it up to big Scotty Wine. The Brownlow medalist can feed it off to Wirra wide. Footscray come forward. Danger signs here for the Crows. Watts backs back. He's got it.
Just read that so well. The ball was very well delivered by Brad Wirra. A nice long high kick. Always gives his forward the opportunity then to be able to bustle his opponent in underneath the ball. And this is just what Jason Watts does. Just holding Visca back there and just at the moment releasing the pressure, able to step back with the ball.
We'll stick 3 goals, 2 in the first quarter, 1 in this third term from virtually the same position. He's off target this time for 1 point. Quill is off and Callett has come on for Footscray.
Well, he won't get much time out there. There's 19 seconds remaining. About 20 seconds in the third quarter. Crows need to get this one end to the other for a goal. Straight up the middle with a long kick is the way to go. Pittman attempts the mark, not paid. Brown. Pesh. Good pick up by Liptak. Back to Nick Pesh. They might run out of time though. Grant holds them up. Short pass. Osborne, and there's the siren for three-quarter time. Well, it's 35 points. Footscray won the term by just 7. Adelaide will have to come home with a wet sail if they're to win. And on the play, you'd have to have your house, everything else you've got on Footscray.
Footscray really have the momentum with them now. They've won each quarter, and that quarter they won by a goal, kicking 3-4 to Adelaide, 2-4. And in general play, they've really controlled the ball through the middle of the ground. There are times when Adelaide looked threatening with some degree of run, but unable to finish it across the true full forward position. Krediuk has done an exceptional job on Modra and really taken him right out of the game. And other than Modra's potential flair, I can't see an Adelaide player now who's going to step up and really make the difference in terms of kicking the goals. They'll continue to work hard in the middle of the ground, but just at the moment, Footscray have all the answers.
Well, the Bulldogs really lifting in front of their faithful here at the home ground. At three-quarter time, 12-9-81 Footscray to 6-10.